Assalamu alaikum wa masakum Allah bil khair, and welcome to my latest TBH Talk series where I share my honest insights on everything that affects talent and people in the UAE and in the GCC region. So today I want to talk about the World MSME Day, which was celebrated on the 27th of June. Now, before you start scratching your head, start wondering, what does MSME mean? It stands for micro, small and medium enterprises. And I'm glad that we're actually shedding more light on micro businesses. Micro businesses are defined here in the UAE as businesses that employ less than 20 employees and have a turnover of less than 10 million dirhams. And they're crucial to the economy. MSME sector contributes 47% of the GDP in Dubai, employ around 52% of the workforce, and make up around at least 90% of the registered businesses in the city. Now, while we've seen a lot of legislation and initiative being rolled out, especially post-COVID-19, to support this sector, but in my honest opinion and what I've seen, there's still a lot to be done, and we've got a long way to go when it comes to supporting the sustainability and competitiveness of the existing MSME businesses here in the UAE. And here are 5 challenges that I'd like to share with you, and I hope that it reaches the right decision maker and policy maker so that we start this conversation towards the benefit of the economy in the UAE. Challenge number 1, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Cash is the lifeline of small and medium enterprises. I don't know why people can't understand that, especially when they start asking for pro bono or free services from micro and small and medium enterprises. I mean, no one would want to work without a salary. You wouldn't want to do that. So why ask a small business owner to provide a service for free? Now, to add to that, after COVID-19, we've seen a lot of companies delay payments to this segment. It becomes very difficult to accurately plan your finances so that you sustain your business. So that is challenge number 1. Challenge number 2, banks. You can tell I personally am frustrated with this challenge in particular. But it's not my opinion alone. It's not something that I've experienced on my own. Every time I sit down and I speak to entrepreneurs, the topic of being able to set up a simple bank account is a challenge a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners face. And it's something that doesn't make sense. If you think about it, it's crazy to think about 10 years ago, our biggest challenge with banks was our ability to access credit and get loans from banks. And today, it's almost like we've taken a step back where we have to deal with the challenges of setting up a simple bank account in order to run our business. And I really believe the government alone can address this issue by intervening and having a conversation and streamlining this process for the better of all parties involved. Challenge number 3, access to capital and funding. This week I sat down with a group of Emirati entrepreneurs who had amazing concepts and ideas they were working for. Biggest challenge was access to capital and funding. Now, we just don't have enough of the options to access capital and funding. And with the ambitious plans and goals the UAE has set in order to attract talent and SMEs in the country, I really believe we need to have more access or more options of angel investors, VCs, crowdfunding platforms, and so forth, so that entrepreneurs can get into supporting and financing their businesses concepts. Challenge number 4, perceptions and bias against MSMEs when it comes to contracts. Now, my experience is when a small and medium-sized business is pitched against a larger competitor in a tender or a contract, 7 times out of 10 at least, they lose against the larger competitor. We've seen companies either sideline MSMEs or engage in an arm-twisting exercise or negotiate down the terms, so it becomes very difficult for the small business to deliver to the contract. Challenge number 5, the ability of MSMEs to attract and recruit the right people. I know how it feels when you have to run a business, develop a product, sell it, lobby, look at the focus on your bottom line, but at the same time have to worry about how can I attract and have a steady pipeline of talent for my business. Now this is a huge problem and an issue, and recruiting is not cheap. We're doing something about it. We have recently partnered up with the world's largest job site, Indeed, and we've launched our latest product, which is Recruitment Marketing for SMEs. It's a way for small and medium-sized businesses to recruit and market their roles in a way that is cheaper, flexible, and more involved from your vendor, from your service provider. If you're interested in learning more about it, hit me up, drop me a line, the email, or visit my website and fill up the form and I'll contact you immediately.